How many H2Os could an H2O if an H2 could 2O? Balancing chemical equations is hard, especially complex problems. In today's video, with the help of Supertutor, we're going to review chemical equations and then test our abilities at the end with a quiz. And here we go. An unbalanced chemical equation is a chemical equation where the number of atoms for each element is not the same for both the reactant and product sides. This violates the law of conservation of mass, which states that matter cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. To balance a chemical equation, you need to adjust coefficients, the numbers before the molecules, to ensure that the same number of each type of atom appears on both sides of the equation. For instance, the unbalanced chemical equation that creates water is dihydrogen plus dioxygen. As you can see, there are 4 total atoms on the reactant side and only 3 on the product side. Balance this, we need to introduce another set of dihydrogen so that we have 4 hydrogen atoms and 2 oxygen atoms to create 2 water molecules. And in an equation as simple as this, you can literally just look at the problem and make sure that both sides are correct. We have 2H2, and then on the reactant side, 2H2, and then O2, and then 2O. So you have 2 oxygens, 4 hydrogens, 2 oxygens, 4 hydrogens. Once again, it's important to understand how to balance chemical equations so that your equation adheres to the law of conservation of mass and can help you provide the proper amount of reactants in lab work, known as stoichiometry. I like that word, stoichiometry. It's gotta be one of the coolest words in chemistry to say, stoichiometry. And I think I mentioned this while I was solving the last problem. The one tip I can give you is to make sure the amount of atoms are equal on both sides. If they're not equal, you can be 100% sure that you have not solved the equation properly. Now, if they are equal, there's still a chance that you may have gotten it wrong by giving the wrong number of atoms to the wrong number of molecules, so on and so forth. But just double checking to make sure your atoms are equal on both sides gives you a good shot. Okay, now let's try some practice problems. Supertutor can create us a quiz based off what we've been telling it. Now, in the previous prompt, I asked it to generate 3 specific chemical equations that were unbalanced and then solved so that Supertutor can make a quiz based off that. That way we have this ability to select proper questions. And obviously, we've already solved this one, so boom. That's a correct answer. Now, let's check out the next problem. How many molecules of O2 are needed to balance the equation iron plus O2 equals iron something oxide? I'm not a chemist, but we need 2 irons and 3 oxygens, so let's go to the drawing board. So let's balance this so we can answer Supertutor's question. We need 2 irons and 3 oxygens, so that creates an interesting ratio for us. In order to get 2 and 3 to equal for the oxygen, so we're specifically talking about these oxygen particles right now. In order to get 2 and 3 to equal, the common factor is 6. So we're gonna wind up needing 3O2 to give us 2O3. So now that we have oxygen balance, which might be the hardest part, we need to balance the iron atoms. To balance the iron, all we're gonna have to do is take into account that we have now 2 of the final products, which means we need 4 iron molecules. So we give it a little 4, and this, without regarding my sloppy handwriting, gives us 4 iron plus 3 dioxide equals 2 iron trioxide. I think that's what it's called. We're gonna roll with it, and this equation is balanced. We have 4 irons and 6 oxygens on both sides. So bringing this back to Supertutor, how many molecules of O2 are needed to balance the equation iron plus O2 equals whatever that is 3. Next question, the final question of the quiz. In the balanced equation for C3H8 plus O2 equals carbon dioxide and water, how many molecules of carbon dioxide are produced? Bonus points if you can tell me what C3H8 is, because I have no clue. And bonus points if you can tell me what type of reaction this is. Yeah, there's different types of reactions. You can let me know what that is in the comments. Let's take account of carbon. We have 3 carbon on one side and 1 carbon on the other side. So let's keep in mind that we might have to include 3 carbon dioxides here. We have 8 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens. So a factor of 4 in between there, and then we also have 2 oxygen, and there are 3 oxygen on the other side. So let's start off with carbon. We know we're probably going to need 3 carbon dioxides on the end to match the 3 carbons in that molecule. So now this means we need 6 oxygen atoms to complete this 3 carbon dioxides. So we know we're probably going to need 3 O2 on this side. But there's an oxygen atom in water. We know that we're probably going to have to increase this number. Given that we have 8 hydrogen atoms, we're gonna probably make 4 water molecules. So we are not going to add any coefficients to this molecule. This is gonna provide all of the atoms we need, and we're gonna get 4H, can I fit it in here, 2O, and then we go back and we figure out how many oxygens we need. We have 6 here, 4 here. That means we need 10 of these atoms, giving us a coefficient of 5, because guys, 5 times 2 equals 10. This is going to be your balanced equation for this problem. How many molecules of carbon dioxide are produced? That would be 3. And at the end of this quiz, we get a summary of everything, so you can always go back and review. We finish the quiz and boom. And like I said, to get this quiz, I asked Supertutor to give us these problems and then hit the quiz button to make a quiz based off the last prompt. If you want to make quizzes with your friends to do this as well, you can hit the It's Game Time button up at the top and create a game. We would make the topic unbalanced chemical equations. You can change the difficulty level, beginner, challenging, and ridiculously difficult, and then you can change the number of questions. You can go as low as 1 and as high as 10. You can enable a timer and change the duration of your questions, and then you can either create them manually or let Supertutor do it for you. And then when you're done, you'll get an invite code and a QR code to allow your friends to join the game, and it's a fun, competitive atmosphere to test your newfound knowledge. Hopefully this review and quiz helped you out and you are ready to go for your next exam or homework assignment. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next learning adventure.